Hey everybody! New developments today. It appears God can't defeat the iron chariots in the valley. He must not be real. Woo! Party time, everybody! Bring on the dancing girls. Let the fornicating begin. Woo! Yeah, boy! I'm ready. Let's go. Come on! Hello, everybody. I hope this finds you well. I have the day off because of the weather. Can't find any indoor work right at the moment. So I decided to make a video. World War II was an interesting and very terrible war. A lot of people died in that war. A lot of terrible things happened in that war. Not very many of the veterans from that time are still with us. There are fewer and fewer every day. I had a conversation with one of them, a fine gentleman. I won't give his name. He's a good man. I had a talk with him about this very subject. He just laughed at me. So you don't believe all that crap, do you? No, I don't believe it. But I'm having trouble explaining it. He looked at me with this serious look. I mean, real serious look. He said, I don't talk about my experience in the war much, but for you, in this case, I will. You see, he was in D-Day. He was on the landings on Omaha Beach. A very terrible day. A lot of men died. He lost a lot of his friends that day. Most of the men that were on the boat he was on were killed before they even got off the boat. He said something about that, though. He said, we won. God was with us that day, and we won. You see, it was wrote in a human perspective. So the Israelites believed in God, and they fought with great fervor for their convictions and their beliefs. Many Israelites and members of the Judea died in those battles. It's not mentioned in that, but it happened. You don't have a fight and a war and a battle without casualties. But when it says God fought with them and they won, did it mean that God was flying over the battlefield in a flaming chariot casting lightning bolts? What you have here is complete misunderstanding of what Scripture is saying. We won World War II fighting against the Nazis, Adolf Hitler, and the Japanese under Tojo. Both totalitarian, dictatorial, militaristic regimes fighting against free peoples. We won, he said, because God was with us. Was God flying over the battlefield with his flaming chariot, casting lightning bolts? No. But he was with those men as they struggled from island to island in the Pacific, fighting a vicious battle with no quarter. He was with those soldiers on D-Day as they struggled and died fighting their way up the beaches to defeat fascism. That is what that scripture is referring to. Judah won because God was with them. the same thing. It means the same thing. Try to put more into it and say, this shows God's not perfect or omniscient, is a complete misunderstanding of what it is saying there. They won the fight because in their heart they believed God was with them. And yes, I did block Cudabucks. Not because he was getting to me. Because there's a point. There comes a point when all your arguments become nothing but chatter. To continue to argue with someone who will not reason, that you cannot reason with, is a waste of time, and I do not have the time to waste on such people. That, I found him going after some of the friends that commented on my videos. Okay, it's one thing you go after me. When you start trying to spread your crap with my friends, that's another. And another thing, we are not lab rats to be studied. That is what he was doing with his line of questioning. He talked as if though he was trying to understand the Christian mindset in our PMs. He will never understand it until he comes to know Christ himself. It was a waste of his time. He also told me that he believes in a strong spirituality, that he's a spiritualist. I'm kind of curious about that. Buddhists are spiritualists. I understand Buddhism. I have much respect for Buddhist people. But they do not have Jesus either. Though what Buddhists taught was not in conflict with Jesus. One must ask, camera, one must ask oneself, where does this spirit come from? Where does this spirit come from? Is it in your chromosomes? Think on that one. You can disagree with me if you like. I don't usually block people just for their commenting. But there comes a time when foolishness must end so that men of reason can get on with their work. I found this as a distraction from my purpose. My goal of those videos was not to try to convert anybody, but only to try to bring some reason and show the other side of the argument. There are two sides to every argument, and if you only look at one, you're blinding yourself to the whole picture. And with that, I bid you all a good day. Peace, love, and understanding to you all.